Hi everyone, my name is Neha Reddy and my module is Business Analytics and Intelligence. So now I'm just going to give an presentation for this subject. So going through the first slide, the presentation will offer financial performance analysis of the five UK-based apparel retailers in the period 2015 to 2024. The main measures that have been examined in the analysis are turnover, profit margin, ROAS, liquidity and gearing. The analysis will be conducted using the statistical and regression models in order to have an insight into the drivers of the profitability and growth trends. We find that operational strategies, financial management, and external stock have an effect on the performance of the firms. So next we are going through the next slide, liquidity versus gearing. So the liquidity gearing scatter plot illustrate between the liquidity and the gearing. We discovered that intermediate gearing 0 to 10% is much more advantageous to liquidity, suggesting that some gearing may increase the working capital flexibility. Anything within 10% liquidity plates that translates to less returns on growth in the debt. The outliner of 451.58 is most likely a firm that is very solvent in the short term. As such, the balance graded firms are more liquid, which implies a good financial management. Going through the next slide, ROAS trend. So we are going to discuss about the ROAS trend. The line chart shows that tendencies of ROAS over the duration of the decade. All companies experience clinical trends, and COVID-19 really decreased 2022 even to negative returns in certain companies. ITX and Next PLC increased their power after the pandemic, whereas Primark and H&M were mediocre and River Island was weakening. The year 2015 to 2019 are golden years of capital efficiency in the industry. Going through the next slide, profit margin comparison. In this, the bar chart is a comparison of 2024 profit margins. Next PLC is the leader at 18.5, indicating that the price, power, and cost control are working. The next that follows closely is ITX UK in 8 point with 8.92, and Primark is also a low margin, high volume business mode at 3.67. H&M and River Island are about to break even, which indicates that their structure is weak or operation cost is high. This indicates the competitive stance of Next and sustainable mid-range stance of ITX. So next we are going through the turnover trend. So speaking to the turnover patterns, it can be stated that Next PLC has had the highest turnover in terms of revenue and ITX with the highest growth rate since 2015. Turnover has been growing in ITX by 20% next by 37%. In 2021, the two companies were struck by a COVID-19 downturn, but in 2024, they both recovered completely, with the ITX recovering more quickly by 152 plus 150 plus 55. This demonstrates how ITX has adjusted and can run on violate strategies of retailing. Going through the next slide, key observations. So on this basis, this analysis we make certain remarks, and average gearing is more liquid. Next PLC is more winning in terms of profitability, and ITX is more growing rates. Yet good capital structures and responsive strategies leads to better performance during the time of volatility. This trend focuses on the importance of financial and operational balances. So next we going to the next slide, which is a choice chart types. So here we can check that this table brings out the central tendency and the volatility. Indicatively, the real island outlier effects are manifested in the less than median mean turnover. Standard deviation is a measure of risk. River Island is an unpredictable firm in terms of profit, whereas ITX and HM are more predictable. The mean, median, and SD combination is more accurate projection of the company performance and volatility. So in this, we can check the mean, median, which are the inclusions, how the ratios are taken, how much pounds has been collected. So we can be seen in this slide. So next, going through the correlation insights, correlation analysis competitors shows that based on metrics turnover and profit before tax, there is high positive correlation, which is equal to 0.81. Turnover and profit before tax is influenced by revenue. There is a moderate relationship between profit margin and ROAS, and where R equal to 0.50. Liquidity and ROAS demonstrate a moderate positive relationship, R equal to 0.61. Gearing has a negative correlation with profit, where R equal to minus 0.43, and this may mean that excess use of debt may reduce profitability. This teachings helps to identify the performance drivers that are critical. So next we are going to the regression model overview. These predictors that are considered including turnover, profit margin, ROAS, liquidity, gearing, and number of employees on which the multiple regression model is used of predicts profitable tax. model R2 equal to 0.787 implies 79% variable of profit. Significant are the turnover, profit margin, and liquidity ratio, where T equal to 7.26 and other T equal to 4.454 respectively. Rows, gearing, and employee count were not significant. Standard error is up to 19.4 m, means that are moderate level of uncertainty in prediction and the individual cases. So finally, we are going through the management implications and takeaways. The management can use the insights to provide more turnover and profit level and make sure that liquidity levels are in optimal positions to avoid which are having unutilized cash. The risk of financial should be minimized by ensuring that the debt leverage is well managed, the combination is well managed, and correlation and descriptive statistics are provided a quantitative foundation in the strategic decisions making process, scenario planning, and financial management of the retail business. The mixed chart visualizers can also be applied in this case. Finally, we are going through the conclusion. So the UK clothing retail shows varied performance across companies with turnover growth not always translating into higher profitability. Descriptive and predictive analysis indicate that efficient management of resource cost and liquidity can significantly enhance financial outcomes. Implementing targeted management actions will be strengthened competitive and resiliences. So thank you. This is all about the presentation. Thank you.